Financial literacy is a buzzword that's keeping you in debt if you're not actually managing your finances. If you think financial literacy alone will make you wealthy, think again. Knowing money terms won't help you if you're still broke, and reading about compound interest won't make you rich. So sorry, financial literacy isn't enough without action. And most people are stuck in the loop of consuming financial tips and definitions, but actually never acting on them. So financial literacy tells you what's possible, but personal finance tells you how to do it. Without action, all the knowledge in the world won't improve your bank balance. So let's talk about what will. Financial literacy and personal finance are related topics, but distinctly different concepts. Each plays a unique role in managing money effectively. And what we're going to talk about first is, what does financial literacy actually mean? My degree is in finance. I have a minor in economics. I have a business degree. And so we learned a lot about financial literacy. And here's what the definition is. Financial literacy refers to the knowledge and skills needed to understand financial concepts and make informed financial decisions. This might include understanding terms like interest rates, inflation, compound interest, diversification, and some principles as simple as budgeting, savings, and investing. We learn about all these things in college, so you'll learn things about income statements and balance sheets and cash flow statements, but they teach it to you much more in a big corporate world environment. And in reality, what we should be focusing on is about gaining a foundation of knowledge and competencies that empower someone to make smarter choices with their money. So financial literacy can include knowing how credit cards work, or understanding different investment types, or recognizing the basics of debt management. And if you go back to our early videos, we talk about all this stuff in a personal financial world where people have to understand some financial literacy terms so they know where to get started. But the actual doing of things is a whole nother level. So it's great that if you look up these words and understand what they mean and those kind of things, but you actually have to do something with the information. So here's a couple of examples of just understanding things. So maybe you understand how to calculate interest on a loan, and you can do that on an Excel spreadsheet, an amortization page. Maybe it's knowing the difference between what a stock, a bond, a mutual fund, or an ETF is, or recognizing the impact of what inflation actually does to your savings account if you just leave it sitting there. So in essence, financial literacy provides the why and the how of your personal financial choices. So understanding these terms is a starting point, because if I try to have a conversation about implementing some of these things and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it does make the game a little more challenging for me. Talking about it in a personal financial world is a little bit different. Let's jump over there so you understand what that is. The definition of personal finance is the practical application of financial knowledge to manage an individual or household's finance. It's about implementing the strategies and behaviors that help achieve financial goals and manage day-to-day money matters. So what you're trying to focus on in personal finance is more action-oriented. It focuses on the what of managing money, creating a budget, paying off the debt. We did a bunch of videos about all this stuff. It's about saving for retirement or planning for big purchases. And personal finance is not just about knowing the concepts, but putting them into practice. So if you go back and watch some of our older videos about creating a budget, about paying off your debt, about trying to understand what and how to say a 401k or an IRA or a SEP IRA, or there's a million other different retirement plans, or even setting up brokerage accounts that would be set up for non-retirement accounts. I think people sometimes confuse that they need different brokerage accounts for different things. And then you have your retirement accounts, which is money you can't get to for the long haul, but you literally can turn around and invest in the exact same things in a non-retirement account. And so you want to be able to have these accounts open for yourself. But what people don't understand is, in your personal finance world, is you have to actually do something. It's great to talk about this and try to understand what's going on, but you have to actually do something. I sat down with a bunch of my son's friends, we did this years ago now, and when we talk about some of your financial literacy concepts, a lot of times they do understand the literacy, what we're talking about, how they do it. But when it came to setting up things like an actual budget for their monthly expenses, or creating a retirement savings plan, or figuring out, where they were spending money that they shouldn't be spending, it was a whole different ballgame because they had never really thought about that stuff. So if you're just getting started on your financial journey, click the link in the description below, or go to our website, CompleteMoneyPlaybook.com, where you can download our list of the top 11 things you need to do to get your financial journey started. In a perfect world, if you were a super advanced financial person that understood how money and finance work, and let's say you created a list of 100 things that you would be doing, most people never need to get past the first 10 or 20, because if all they ever did was the first 10 or 20, they would win at a level of financial, benefits that they wouldn't even believe. If you literally just got to the point where you had no debt, owned your house, and used our video about the 50-30-20 rule, where I just use round numbers, and if you basically made $100,000 and you took the 20%, $20,000 off the top and did investing with that and took the other 80% and there's, spreading it apart in that 50-30 rule, and you lived on that and never spent $1 more than that $100,000 total. Let's say you were 25 years old, you started making $100,000. 40 years later, by the time you were 65, I'm assuming there would have been some pay raises. I'm assuming there would have been some ways that you made more money. You'd be so far off financially in your situation, you wouldn't even believe it. When the game is long and the winning of the game is slow, it doesn't feel like winning. So if you happen to be 27 years old and you have $40,000 in a 401k plan through work, it doesn't feel like a lot of money. When you see how many financial gurus out there talking about a million different complicated things, it makes it really easy for them to feel inadequate, like they're not getting ahead financially. You might want to try to figure out what a side hustle is or what another business is, or do Bitcoin or crypto or do some of these other things. If you want to do those things, that's great. But I really do feel if all you did was the basic stuff, and I know, for example, people want to shit on 401ks all the time, but I have yet to find another investment that if you put in $1 and you have some sort of company matching program and they will match you $1 for $1, that's 100% on your money. I realize sometimes in a 401k, the expenses might be a little bit higher. The investments that you can invest in might be a little more limited. Where can you get 100% of your money from day one and then let that thing build up for years and years and years? So I'm all about getting rid of your debt, owning a house, doing your 401k and your SEP IRA, and living within your means. And if you literally just did those things and made sure your money was invested properly, you would be so far ahead financially that it would be amazing to you. So together, financial literacy serves as the foundation, while personal finance is the practical application with the knowledge you have gained. So both are critical. You need to know both. And achieving financial well-being for the long haul and making sound financial decisions from, the very beginning all the way through, it's not as hard as you think, and you can do it. So reach out if you have your specific questions. And at some point, if we're getting enough interest from all of you guys, we'll create a course that explains to you how this works. And if you literally just did those first 10 or 12 things on the list of 100, you can win financially. So just believe you can, know you can, and of course you can. If you're someone started on your financial journey, check out this video we did about how to manage your money like the 1%. It'll give you some great information as you get started to your journey on financial freedom.